people understood what betrayal does to your brain, just the psychological effects. Because use me as an example. Let me just tell y'all, before my ex cheated on me, mind you, with one of my friends that I had to see a good 3-4 times out of the day, because we all were business partners and friends and we had to work together. Even after the fact, I had to still be around them both in the same vicinity. When I tell you guys, I went from the most self-assured, confident, motivated, disciplined. I was actually in the best space in the planet. Like I'm in a good space now, but back then I was on fire. I was doing my thing. I was in the gym consistently. I went from 110 pounds to 136. I was nice and thick. I had a nice little dump truck until a man, and it's always until a man and a woman. And usually when somebody cheats, you don't know the person for real. I knew this person. I confided in this person. I went to see this person. I was around this person while this was happening. And they were doing it behind my back. And she was just smiling in my face. And I had no clue. Y'all, I am a Scorpio. If you know, you know. That was one of the climactic moments in my life where I literally had to sit my black ass down and just sit with myself. And that was the hardest thing I ever had to do. The day all that stuff came out, I have never raged the way that I raged. I have never been more aggressively physical. I have in the past, not anymore. But back then, I was swinging. I ain't never pulled up on somebody in my life so fast to where I saw red. Words will never be able to describe the amount of emotion that came out over a span of those 48 hours of finding all that out. And what pissed me off even more is that when I found out who it was, I never had any evidence, but my intuition was hitting me. Their names would just randomly pop up in my head while I was driving or just doing mundane things. And I'm like, why am I thinking about this? I'm like, they would never do that. They never do that. The next time you think somebody would not do that, they will. They will, and they can, okay? So back to the psychological effects that were affecting me. So now that this information has came out, mind you, I'm not even thick no more. I'm so stressed out in this relationship that I am skinny. I am about 110, 111. If you saw my last post, yes, that's where I was. I was skinny mini. I was tiny. My ex used to always, oh my God, he used to always slap my leg when we were sitting next to each other, and he'd be like, we need to grow these thighs. We need to grow these thighs. Mind you, the girl he cheated on me on was also, and she was much thicker than me. She wasn't like fit thick, but she was bigger. He liked bigger women. And like when he met me, I was thick. So like my mind, I literally got body dysmorphia because when I looked in the mirror, I thought I was a stick. I used to be the girl who would see another pretty girl in the mall with my boyfriend, and I'm like, she is cold. She look at her, and I would point him out because I like what I see, and I know he probably like what he see too. I'm like, we both like what we see. It stopped. I never did that again because in the back of my mind, I'm like, he's probably looking at her too. He's probably looking at her too. And then it got to a point where on Instagram really took a toll on me because I would be scrolling, and it ain't nothing more disrespectful than scrolling through the people in your business organization on Instagram and y'all are all cool and friends, and your boyfriend is the main one, the first name that pops up, such and such like this, such and such like this, and you're looking at the girls and you're looking how they're shaped and you're not shaped like that. So in the back of my mind, I'm spiraling. And like a dumbass, I stayed like a dumbass because I thought, oh man, I stayed because I was trying to one up another bitch. Never do that. Don't ever do that. Just leave. I'm in the space where I just be like, and then just take it on the chin. But back then, you wasn't gonna beat me. You weren't gonna beat me. Like that just wasn't gonna happen. Even though I did not want to be with him, everything that led up to it, we were having really bad communication problems and it just was not clicking. And I'm a try hard, and I like to learn from my last relationships and learn that when I'm not feeling good within myself, that does not mean I need to go outward and do other things or see other people or do whatever the case. So I'm gonna stick it out, even though I don't fuck with you right now. But he chose the latter and everything that came with that. And mind you, don't be disappointed in me. I stayed and I did not get any reassurance. I got gaslit, I got stonewalled, I got, oh, it's been a month, you're still bringing this up. It's been 2 months, you're still bringing this up. And even with her, she was always just so lucky that I just never That period of time, I was so depressed that I got smaller. I actually finally caught COVID for the first time. And this was like after where, like, if you got it, people like, that's still around. At that point, yes, I caught COVID and I was in the house for 10, 14 days. I caught hives. I was so stressed out because he would still leave and go to our events that we had to put together and be around this girl. And I didn't know anything. And I didn't know if he was lying or not. Mind you, he was still interacting with her on Instagram after the fact and just mundane stuff. But it's like, if I'm a cheater and I cheated on my partner, I'm going to do everything I can for the reassurance, even if that's giving my location, looking at my phone, because at the end of the day, this is a partnership and we need to work together. That was not happening. I know that now, but I did not know that then. But can you imagine not knowing or seeing anything suspicious? And then when it comes, you find out who it is. Your intuition was telling you this whole time, but you never saw anything. And so you think about everything that happened before that led up to this, because ain't no way you and him just get into an argument and all of a sudden this is happening. And then all of a sudden, everybody in your business and your organization's like, oh, I thought it was weird how this was happening. I thought it was weird how this customers who worked in the shop that we were at would come in and be like, aren't such and such and such and such together? Okay, I thought so because I saw something strange. Why? Just listen, I'm a girl's girl. If you come to me and tell me my dude is doing something, I'm not gonna be mad at you. I'm gonna be like, thank you, because I'm about to go handle this shit. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And like I said, when you find out, everyone's like, oh, why would y'all do that to Jazz? Why would y'all do that? Everyone's, because I was telling everybody, and I didn't care if anybody knew, because I just wanted people to look at y'all weird, because I did not give a fuck back then. And then after it all initially happens, mind you, it's like one of the biggest events going on in a year, and you have to get on stage, you have to talk and act like none of this just came out. And then when everything goes back to normal, everyone else goes back to normal. Everyone else doesn't forget, but, goes back to business as usual. And you're just there, planning events, organizing things with the two people who really, really just said fuck you. Mind you, you cried to this girl. You went to go hang out with her just to get outside, just because you were so stressed out about this relationship. Whole time she just bouncing, just happy to be here. Just if you really want to talk about an ego death, I didn't ask for that trauma. It was the worst, best thing that ever happened to me now, knowing what I know now, and I know how to date now, and I know what to look for and the red flags now, because I was just ignoring them like they just weren't there. And he wasn't nowhere near emotional or a person that you could come to for comfort or a hug already. So like, imagine, I'm this big emotional ball of feelings, and I'm very in tune with my feelings, and I got somebody who's completely opposite. Guess a sign if you want to, I don't care. But they don't match. And we were actually doing network marketing, and my business was growing. We had so many team members that we met from social media all over the place. It was great. As soon as that happened, it was like this downhill decline, and it just stopped. And eventually I stopped, which everything happens for a reason. I'm glad I don't do it anymore. Moral of this freaking story is don't cheat. Don't cheat. Just leave. Have a conversation. Have some emotional intelligence enough to think about the other person's feelings on what they would prefer you to do. Because anyone's going to prefer you to just be honest with them. Just be honest with them. That does not escape you from any consequences of emotions that may come out, because emotions are valid regardless. But just have the conversation and just save the pain, because at the end of the day, you know what it felt like to be played. So why do it to somebody else?